We are continuing to follow breaking news out of California, where NBC News has just confirmed the female shooter at YouTube headquarters has been killed.
We're live in Greenville, but the call did come in as an active shooter. You get the Krispy Kreme donut, so that's a nice sweet treat, especially on National Donut Day, so this would be a great way to celebrate.
I went through the number of vacant positions for every prison in the state, and what I found was shocking. The campus officer who stayed outside Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School as 17 people were gunned down inside.
A grilled cheese, mac and cheese, meatloaf sandwich. We're making mac fries.
University PC Care in Greenville says they've seen an alarming increase in the number of computers brought to them. As a Cleveland native, I'm very happy to see Lonnie Chisenhall back out on the field today.
And most people are able to even kind of take off their jackets and just kind of sit out here, relax. This is the first time the Democratic presidential nominee has come to Eastern Carolina.
North Carolina has been very busy recently with campaign stops and, of course, the push for early voting. New details have unfolded in the shooting death investigation of a former sheriff's deputy here in the East, with 2 teenagers now charged for his murder. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose.
What exactly does it take to make sure that all the rides are safe?
Hey, Dave and Lynette, you have found me on the scat tonight.
My brave cohort at that, Lindsay Oliver.
I've been combing through a number of reports, from the recently released autopsies to staffing numbers across the state, and even the 78-page report from the National Institute of Corrections, which lists glaring problems that aided in the deadly series of events at Pasquotank. And what I found is that there are a number of changes the state is working to make, but many believe there is still not enough being done to protect those who guard our state's criminals.
I miss her.
This cemetery is now where Wendy Callahan can visit her daughter.
I can't protect Megan anymore, but I can try to protect other people.
Wendy has become an outspoken voice since Sergeant Megan Callahan was killed in April of last year. Inmate Craig Wasink is accused of beating her daughter to death with a fire extinguisher, but she also blames the Department of Public Safety.
Megan may have been attacked that day, but if she had staff, she might not be dead.
Just 6 months later, at Pasquotank Correctional Institution, 4 employees were also brutally beaten to death. Authorities say by 4 inmates that were attempting to escape.
They beat them with hammers and stabbed them with scissors.
It's a day Thomas Ashley will never forget.
There should never be a loss of life at a job site, period.
The sergeant at Pasquotank took a pay cut recently to leave his job of nearly 12 years.
There's still incidences where officers are getting punched, stabbed.
Since that October attack, DPS says 38 employees have been assaulted so bad they lost work time, 8 of which were at Pasquotank. A report by the National Institute of Corrections says Pasquotank was operating with 1 in every 4 positions not filled during the time of the attack. 1 officer instead of 2 was left to watch 30 inmates in the sewing plant where the attack happened.
I went through the number of vacant positions for every prison in the state, and what I found was shocking.
At the beginning of 2017, Pasquotank's vacancy rate was 41%. Mind you, this is a maximum security prison. Since the attack, they have continued to operate with more than 1 in 4 positions vacant. And they are not alone. 8 prisons across the state continue to see a vacancy rate of 25 to 41%, including Bertie Correctional Institution, where Megan was murdered. The NIC report found overtime was causing staff burnout, complacency, and taking of shortcuts. And they're making a lot less than the national average pay for COs and jailers of $47,600. COs in North Carolina average $35,300.
Folks are overworked and they're fatigued.
While he believes there are things the state can improve on, Judge Reuben Young, the new interim Chief Deputy Secretary of Adult Corrections and Juvenile Justice, says he does not think staffing was a primary cause of last year's attacks.
This crime was committed by people who intended to escape, and in an effort to do so, they murdered our employees. The biggest challenge that we had and what came out in the NIC report was the inconsistency of the policies of correctional enterprises and prisons. And quite frankly, we've addressed that issue.
While those accused in the deadly attack had been convicted of murder or other violent crimes, they were all allowed unsupervised access to dangerous tools, a policy that has since changed.
If they are felons that have been convicted of violent crimes, they don't work in correction enterprises. They've been reclassified.
While Judge Young believes they are doing everything they can to keep employees safe, it is an inherently dangerous business.
We house some of the most violent people in this state.
The Department of Public Safety says while some institutions are in need of filling a large number of vacancies, they say the prisons work to make sure each post is manned by shuffling staff and through a lot of overtime.
This Grifton home is filled with love and laughter. Erica and David Currington have been married for 3 years now, but when they met, it wasn't just Erica he had to impress.
I knock on the door, and Erica answers it, and she lets me in, and here's this little 15-month-old beautiful baby girl.
Harper Gray immediately stole his heart too, and soon the family of 3 was about to grow.
That's all she wanted to be, was a big sister.
Now a year and a half, Dawson is a beacon of light for Erica and David, brightening every day and guiding them through very dark waters.
She had not been feeling well, and then all of a sudden all I remember is my husband yelling at me that she wasn't breathing.
We were sitting on the couch, and I was talking to her when, she kind of just left.
On a Wednesday in November of 2015, Harper's doctor said she had a virus. By Saturday, their world changed forever.
I just remember begging and asking why. You told me it was just a virus. Like, this isn't supposed to happen. She's perfect. She's healthy. That Monday, she was gone.
My heart just ripped right out.
The 4.5-year-old's room has remained mostly untouched. Her dance bag still packed.
Tap and ballet shoes. All packed, but nowhere to go.
Her trademark hair bows now enshrine the monogrammed H above her bed. Around Erica's neck hangs Harper's birthstone, picture, and tiny thumbprint.
I've tried to be here for her, somebody for her to talk to, a shoulder to cry on.
Erica says the doctors still don't have an exact diagnosis, but say it was a complication from a birth defect that almost never happens. She says that lack of diagnosis has left her feeling isolated from other grieving parents, so she created a nonprofit called Love for HG.
Regardless of the loss, from holding them in your belly to being able to hold them into your arms, that they still matter. And, the moms, the families, they still matter.
While the family works to find a new normal while raising this beautiful baby boy, they know Harper is watching and proud of this grieving mother turning an unimaginable loss into a way to help others.
Well, we raise money, and all the funds go through the Children's Hospital. Throughout the year, whether it's just random designation days, we've done balloon releases.
She's an amazing woman and an amazing mother. I could not have asked for anyone better or stronger or more beautiful, to spend the rest of my life with.